Hello, Mayuko. Hello, can you hear me, Mayuko? Mayuko, can you hear me?
You already put?
I didn't.
Hello? Hello, Simon? Mayuko, can you hear me?
Nothing. You already put the water, right?
Water, but oil, not yet. You do me?
2 minutes. I wanted to.
Hi, Simon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good evening, teacher.
Good evening to you. Mayuko, can you hear me? Mayuko?
I don't know.
Oh, let me just text her.
Hi.
Hi, Mayuko. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, Mayuko, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry.
All right, good. Because we could hear you, but apparently you couldn't hear us. All right.
Yeah.
I was in the class since 5 minutes to 7.
Yeah.
And then nobody came to the class because I asked one of the organizers, I said, where do I log in? And they said that she gave me a link, and this particular link, and I was there. And when I talked to Mayuko over the WhatsApp, she said, I'm already there. So I logged out and then started this one. So I'm sorry for that. My fault. I should have checked it before. Okay, I'm sorry, but usually I'm always on. Not usually, I'm always on time. So I'm sure it won't happen again. All right. So now, do you have any questions before we start?
No.
No? All right, Mayuko? No? Okay, we're going to start with describe image today and practice some describe image. After that, we go back and start with just a few read aloud, repeat sentence, and basically speaking. But before that, remember to send me a text message on WhatsApp, a private message, okay? Like the one I sent to Mayuko. So Simon, I'm in the group now, in the WhatsApp group. Just text me a private message, a PM, and send me your email. Once you send me your email, I will send you a login credential for practicing on my website.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And then you can practice whatever we are practicing today. You can practice it on my website. And do not start a mock test until you're ready and I tell you. All right.
Okay.
Don't start a mock test on the website. So, and do not book a PTE test. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good, Mayuko. That was very quick. I will send it to you by the end of when the class finishes. I have to go and do stuff on my website, and then you can log in and send you every where to log in and that sort of things.
Teacher.
Yes, Simon. Please.
Can I know which one is your phone number?
Okay, it has the pt.com. It's got the my logo on it. So my phone number. It's in the group. Are you in the group, Simon?
Yeah, in the group.
Okay, so if you I'll just what do you want me to do? If you go to the participants, okay, can you go to the participants? You can see mine there. But if you want my phone number, it's 0435.
Yeah.
Simon, 0435 724 790.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Oh yes, with the so just text me hi and then hi, this is Simon, so that I know. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good, Simon. There we go. I got yours as well. Now, so we're going to start. For describe image. So first of all, from the September last year, the rules changed. So in the past, you used to have, I mean, still you have 6 to 7 read aloud, 10 to 12 repeat sentence, but describe image, the number has been reduced from 6 to 7 to 3 and 4. And the same happened to retail lecture. It used to be 3 to 4. Now it's 1 and 2. And then answer short questions from 10 to 12. Now you've got 5 to 6. This is because they wanted to reduce the hour from 3 hours to 2 hours. All right. So now you're going to have, let me, oh my goodness, I'm not sharing. Am I sharing? No, I'm
you're not
stupid.
sharing.
I am stupid. Sorry. So look, before it used to be 6 to 7 describe image. Now it's 3 to 4. All right. And the same to retail lecture. Used to be 3 to 4. Now it's 1 and 2. And answer short questions from 10 to 12. Now you've got 5 to 6. All right. Now, also, I will send you all the templates and the stuff that we are doing in the class to the WhatsApp where you just texted me, and the PDF has all the templates that you want and whatever we are practicing. So for instance, today we're going to do describe image. So for describe image, I want you to memorize 4 sentences. So I will, you can take a photo for now if you like.
Yeah, I take already.
Good.
Yeah, I did.
Good. Now, but watch this video and then I'll come back to you. Describe image. The third section of the speaking module is describe image. You will get 6 to 7 describe image questions in your PTE test. In this item, candidates are given 25 seconds to prepare themselves for describing an image. These images could be graphs, charts, pie charts, bar charts, maps, tables, or even pictures. After your 25 seconds are over, you hear a beep sound, which signals the start of the recording, and you have 40 seconds to record your description of that image. Describe image strategies. Number 1. Memorize the describe image template. Please take a photo of the template and memorize it as soon as possible. So there are 4 sentences here. Memorize the sentences in black and replace the red ones with information from the picture. I will do some describe image samples at the end of this video. Number 2. Use all the image information, even its colors, to fill in different gaps of the template. Number 3. Use the 25 seconds preparation time for reading the image information at least once. Number 4. You do not need to make sense when you are describing an image. Number 5. Only content, that is image information, and your oral fluency, reciting the template, matter here. So I'm going to use my time to read it once. Greater one-horned rhino, historic and present distribution, inferred historical distribution, grey, black, current distribution across the countries, Nepal, India, Myanmar, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bhutan. The image describes greater one-horned rhino, historic and present distribution. It also provides some information about different categories such as inferred historic distribution in the color gray and current distribution in the color black. It is clear from the image that India contributes the most of rhino, and on the other hand, Myanmar contributes the least. Finally, by looking at the image, it can be seen that the image is showing important information based on facts and figures, having a significant effect on the number of rhinos in Myanmar, India, and Pakistan, respectively. Chiang Mai, Thailand. Temperature across January, February up to December. Average precipitation, average low and average high precipitation in millimeter. 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. Colors yellow and blue. The image describes Chiang Mai, Thailand. It also provides some information about different categories, such as average precipitation in the color blue, average low, dark blue, and average high, yellow. It is clear from the image that August contributes the most with almost 200 millimeter. On the other hand, December contributes the least with 50. Finally, by looking at the image, it can be seen that the image is showing important information based on facts and figures, having a significant effect on April and March, respectively. It's a traditional market in an Asian country with apples, grapes, bananas, and some umbrellas, and some shoppers in the middle, and it's a fruit market, open market, probably with cheap prices. The image describes a fruit market. It also provides some information about different categories, such as the kind of fruits they're selling, such as apple, grapes, bananas, oranges, cucumbers, and yellow and green apples. It is clear from the image that the red apples contribute the most, and on the other hand, bananas contributes the least. Finally, by looking at the image, it can be seen that the image is showing important information based on facts and figures, having a significant effect on the number of people, shoppers, respectively. Monthly temperature and precipitation. Temperature in red and precipitation in red. Precipitation in inch and temperature in Fahrenheit across the month of January to December, and the highest is in July and the lowest is in January. The image describes monthly temperature and precipitation. It also provides some information about different categories, such as precipitation in the green color and temperature in red. It is clear from the image that the month of June contributes the most with around 8 inches. On the other hand, the month of January contributes the least with 2 inches. Finally, by looking at the image, it can be seen that the image is showing important information based on facts and figures, having a significant effect on respectively. The image describes the map of the world in different temperatures. It also provides some information about different categories, such as tropical zone, temperate zone, and polar zone. It is clear from the image that polar zone contributes the most, and on the other hand, temperate zones contribute the least. Finally, by looking at the image, it can be seen that the image is showing important information based on facts and figures, having a significant effect on the tropical countries with the colors yellow, brown, and orange, respectively.
percentage of different size of enterprises. Large business 0 to 49, medium businesses 50 to 149, large business 100, colors orange, blue, grey. The image describes percentage of different size of enterprises. It also provides some information about different categories such as large businesses with 0 to 49 with the color blue, medium businesses 50 to 149 with the color orange, and large businesses 150 plus with the gray color. It is clear from the image that large businesses contribute the most. On the other hand, medium businesses contribute the least. Finally, by looking at the image, it can be seen that the image is showing important information based on facts and figures having a significant effect on large businesses with the color blue 10% respectively.
Okay. Now, please repeat with, you can read. There are, the template is written in front of you. You can repeat, okay? The image describes, everyone, the image describes US per capita loss. Come on. It also provides some information about different categories such as apples, oranges, bananas, grapes, strawberries, watermelon, and pineapples. It is clear from the image that apples has the highest, above 25, contributes the most. And on the other hand, pineapples contributes the least with 5. But finally, by looking at the image, it can be seen that the image is showing important information based on facts and figures, having a significant effect on bananas, grapes, strawberries, respectively.
Speaking module, the read aloud section.
Okay, so now the last thing you want to do here is to make sense. All right. So if you want, now let me tell you how they actually mark you here. So the most important thing here, where is it? Describe image. Okay, the most important thing here is to get the content. Number one, the most important thing is your oral fluency. What is the meaning of oral fluency?
Speaks faster.
Very good. The scientific meaning of oral fluency is this: the number of words you say in a minute. The number of words you say in a minute. Now, and here it's not a minute, it's 40 seconds. But since it's a computer, it can't make a relative, you know. So in one minute you speak this, in 40 seconds you have to speak this. That's the they can make, you know, comparison. So if I do this, the image and the computer is not typing. When you say the computer is not typing anything. The image is up to now 2 words. Android 1.4, upper 4.4, and so you see, is this is taking up your time. And once the 40 seconds is over, how many words have you spoken? 20. So your oral fluency goes down. Now, but if you memorize these 4 sentences, and it doesn't have to be these 4 sentences. If you have any pre-made sentences, for instance, the image describes, it also provides, it is clear from the image, then you can make sentences and just string them. All right. So remember, you can talk for 35 seconds here, somewhere around here, and then finish it. 35 seconds. If you finish here, that's all right. But I want you to go all the way here and then go next, or it automatically finishes. All right. Now, so these are the 4 So the black ones you memorize. The image describes. It also provides some information about different categories, such as it is clear from the image that you go for the highest. And again, you don't have to make sense. Just choose one and say apples, the highest, orange, the lowest. All right. You don't have to make sense. Remember, you can make use of colors as well. And finally, by reviewing the image, it can be concluded that the image is showing. But what I want you to do, Simon
Yes.
and Mayoko, is to memorize them with the right pronunciation. So when you say, for instance, finally, by reviewing the image, it can be concluded. If you find any word here that you do not like, you can change it. For instance, if you do not like reviewing, you cannot pronounce it, change it to something you can pronounce. Finally, by concluding the image. Okay, it doesn't matter, but right pronunciation and memorize it as fluently as possible. All right.
Okay.
Now, so I just want you to read it for me, just the black parts. Okay. So first of all, I'll give you some time to read it for yourself, and then I'll come back to you and just quickly like this. The image describes, it also provides some information about different categories, such as it is clear from the image that contributes the most, and on the other hand, contributes the least. Okay, I want you to do it for me. Read it once, and then I'll come back to you. I'll give you 1 minute.
Image describes. It also provides some information about different categories, such as it is clear from the image that contribute the most, and on the other hand, contribute the least. Finally, by reviewing the image, it can be concluded that the image is showing important information based on facts and figures, having a significant effect on
This, that, respectively. This, and this, respectively. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Now, Simon, are you ready?
Yep.
Go.
The image described, it also provides some information about different categories, such as it is clear from the image that contribute the most, and on the other hand, contributes the least. Finally, by reviewing the image, it can be concluded that the image is showing important information based on facts and figures, having a significant effect on and respectively.
Now, very good, Simon. Very good. I noticed you have problem pronouncing reviewing. Yeah. Okay, just say looking. Simon, you say looking. Yes, because you, instead of reviewing, you say reviewing. So just say looking. So you, Simon, just say finally by looking at the image.
Finally,
by looking at the image. Very good. Looking at the image. Okay.
Looking at the image. Okay.
Don't say by reviewing the image. Say finally by looking at the image. So you see, this is what I'm saying about accommodation. So you can accommodate whatever you cannot pronounce. Forget about it. Choose another one. Okay. So that the computer can type. Now, Mayoko, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes, give it a go.
The image describes. It also provides some information about different categories, such as it is clear from the image that contributes the most, and on the other hand, contributes the least. Finally, by reviewing the image, it can be concluded that the image is showing important information based facts and figures, having a
respectively. Very good. Now, Mayoko, you can replace image with picture, because instead of image, you say imaging. Okay, just say picture. So Mayoko says the picture describes, and Simon says by looking at the image. Okay, so if you cannot pronounce a particular word, just get rid of it, replace it with something you can pronounce it. All right, make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
Good.
Teacher.
Yes, Simon.
How about the point number 4, the based on fact and figure, can find somewhere to change it?
Well, which one? The based on facts and figures?
Yeah, the fact, is that correct? fat and figures.
Aha, you want to change it? Yes, of course. Okay, so read it once again for me from number 4. Read, Simon.
Finally, by looking the image, it can be concluded that the image is showing important information based on fat and figures, having a significant effect on and respectively.
Good, very good. Simon, I want
Yeah.
you to, okay. First of all, showing, you say sewing. So instead of showing, say, finally by looking at the image. Finally, by looking at the image, it can be concluded that the image is depicting. Depict. Can you say depict? Simon? Depict.
Repeating.
No. Simon? Depict.
Yes.
You want to say depict, or is it difficult?
Repeating.
No. Okay, let me write for you. Depict. Now, let me choose another one. Showing, oh, my internet says it's unstable. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. The image is prove. Prove is okay. Prove. Yes, proving important. Yes, proving important. So don't say showing, say proving. So proving important information. Okay, Simon.
Yes.
Forget about based on facts and figures. Don't say it. So
Okay.
you just say, finally, by looking at the image, it can be concluded that the image is proving important information, having a significant effect on this, that, and the other. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay.
There you go. So once you memorize this, next week, I want you to read it for me and say, and if it is fluent or not. Once you memorize it, it's now written in cement, written in stone. Then you're going to practice. The image describes, it also provides, it is clear from the image. It can be finally by reviewing the image or by showing the image. Mayoko, do you have any questions?
No.
No, you're all right with the template?
I think so.
Good. Okay. So I'm going. Do you want me to do one more for you?
Yes, please.
By the way, what did I say? Don't make any sense. Do not make any sense. If you want to make any sense, that's a computer. The computer doesn't make any sense. All right. So just your oral fluency. I'm going to do one more for you, and then we can do. So this is how you go to a number. So first you highlight it, and then quickly you type the number 58. Okay, I'm going to do it. The more writing, the better for you, because you say the image and then you start reading it. So use your time to read it. So it's the difference between waste incinerated and recycled a year before the introduction of the landfill ban and 2013, Australia, Denmark. The image describes difference between waste incinerated and recycled a year before the introduction of the landfill ban and 2013. It also provides some information about different categories such as Australia, Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, and Norway. It is clear from the image that Germany has the highest with 125. On the other hand, Norway has the least with -25. In conclusion, by examining the image, it can be deducted the image is showing compelling information, proven with facts and figures having a significant effect on Sweden, Norway, and Switzerland, respectively. Okay, I forgot about colors. I could have said colors gray and red, waste incinerated, waste recycled. So there are many ways you can say. You don't have to make sense. The last thing you want to do is to make sense. So memorize. I'll do it once again, but this time it's different. Every time I say it, it's different. Why? Because I have the template in different ways. I just read it. So don't make sense. Don't go, which is the highest? Germany. Which is the lowest? Okay. Don't do that. Just okay. I'll do it again. So 4 sentences. The image describes. It also provides. It is clear. In conclusion. All right. Waste incinerated, color red, and waste recycled. kg per inhabitant. Ah, oh, okay. It didn't. I have to go. I know what mistake I made. Sorry. If I have to go one down or up. Oh, okay. And then this time it makes sound. Oh, it wasn't that one, was it? No. Okay. Do you want to do it together? Are you ready? Okay, we do it together.
Sorry for the interruption, but Anna and Maria, they want to, they're trying, so they ask you to end Hamad or Ahmad. Both lost their connection, so they're trying.
The image describes the population of Australian states and territory. Come on, Simon, everyone. Territories. It also provides some information about different categories, such as New South Wales, VIC, Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia, Tasmania, and ACT. It is clear from the image that New South Wales has the highest with 682, while NT has the lowest with 21. In conclusion, by examining the image, it can be concluded the image is showing important information based on facts and figures having a significant effect on Tasmania, South Australia, and Western Australia, respectively. Okay? Very good, very good. Now, once you memorize it, you can go, all right? Right now, because you haven't memorized it, but you know how to do it, okay? Now, together, the image describes, it also provides, it is clear from the image. In conclusion, everybody, the image describes greenhouse emissions from energy production France versus Germany. It also provides some information about different categories such as Germany, red, France, green. It is clear from the image that 1974 has the highest with 250, while on the other hand, 2002 has the lowest. In conclusion, by examining the image, it can be deducted the image is showing important information based on facts and figures having significant effect on nuclear power, expansion, and gender-wise, respectively. Okay. Now, one more.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
The image describes the difference between waste incinerated and recycled year before the introduction of landfill ban 2013.
It also provides
It also provides some information about different categories such as Australia, Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, and Switzerland. It is clear from the image that Australia has the highest with 100, while Netherlands has the lowest. In conclusion, by examining the image, it can be deducted the image is showing.
The picture, it can be concluded that.
Very good. Fine. Yes, finally, I forgot that one. That's finally, I say in conclusion. Very good. You can say, you see, I've memorized a different thing, or yeah, but you can say finally by reviewing it, whatever you like. So memorize it. Bob's your uncle. Okay. Very good. Up to here. Fantastic job, both of you. Now, so that's about. Now we'll come back to it every time we start with these important. So, but one more thing. You are in Melbourne, right? Both of you?
Yep.
Okay. There are 8 PTE centers in Melbourne. 3 or 4 of them are rubbish. They are students go there, the computer crashes, they're noisy. There are a lot of problems with them. All right, that's why I don't want you to go to any test center. I want you to go only to 2 test centers. Number 1, the 300 Latrobe Street. The 300 Latrobe Street. If you go to when you want to book a date, you will see that there are 8 or 7 of them, and one of them is the 300 Latrobe Street. It's called Pearson Professional. So Pearson Professional, Latrobe Street. That's number 1. And number 2 is Pearson Professional, Box Hill.
Oh, Box Hill. Yeah, Box Hill is near for me.
Yeah, so you can register there. So this center is the best because a lot of my students go there. That the equipments are good. They haven't experienced any crashing of the computers, you know, that sort of things. But there was one I remember in city center. The name of the center was Clifton. It was horrible. The students went there during the exam. Suddenly the computer froze, and then they said, okay, you have to come back again for your test, or, you know, and finally they closed down the center because it was terrible. They closed it down, so you don't have to worry about it. But still, we have some. Thank you, Mayoko, for reminding me. Now we are all drinking. So these 2 centers, whenever you're ready, and I'll tell you when you're ready. And of course, you have to do the mock test. There are 10 mock tests. You do the number 1, number 2, number 3, and then you get the hang of the test, because the test is exactly like the real one. So once you do the test, you see the test, you say, oh my goodness, it's just the same, or I've done this before, or it looks very familiar to me. So you have an idea how the test is done. And the mock test, your mock test score tells me what score you're going to get and where you need to concentrate. All right. Now we go back to. So the speaking section, we have read aloud, repeat sentence. This is the order. Describe image. We did today describe image. Next one is retell lecture. So for retell lecture, we have this template. So you can take a photo if you like.
Yeah.
Good. So again, 4 sentences. The topic of the lecture was, the speaker talked about. The speaker also went on and talked about, or talked about, whatever you like. Finally, the speaker highlighted the following points. Now, again, what is it that you should not make? What is it that you should not make? Sense.
Makes sense.
You don't have to make sense. Okay. Now I'm going to play. I'm going to play a retail lecture. So let me play you the video for how to do the retail lecture. Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Retail lecture.
Retail lecture.
This is before they changed so now you know that describe image is 3 to 4. Retail lecture is 1 or 2. It's not 3 or 4, it's 1 or 2, okay? All right?
Okay.
Retail lecture is the 4th section of the speaking module. Candidates will get 3 to 4 retail lecture questions in their PTE test. In this section, you will hear a soundtrack.
In the 19th century, few people
Or watch a video.
One of the most important figures in the study of learning, Ivan Pavlov, wasn't concerned with the subject at all.
that could be as long as 2 minutes.
and was considered
Once the
a
track
marvel
or
of
the video
Victorian
is
technology.
finished, you will have 10 seconds to prepare a summary of what you just heard. After the 10 seconds are over, you will hear a beep sound, signaling the start of 40 seconds recording of your summary response. Retail lecture strategies. Number 1. Memorize the retail lecture template. Once you memorize the retail lecture template, you can use it for summarize the spoken text questions of the listening module as well. Number 2. While listening to the track, write down as many words as you can, including names, numbers, expressions and phrases on your booklet. Number 3. When you are taking notes, don't bother with the spelling. Write it in a way so that you can pronounce it correctly. You can even write in your own mother tongue. Number 4. Do not try to make sense here. Just use the words you noted down in a sentence. Number 5. Your grammar does not matter here. Just mention content words clearly.
Joseph Lister was an English surgeon who was the first man to realise the importance of aseptic techniques during surgical procedures. Lister was born in Essex, England, and after obtaining a Bachelor of Arts degree from University College London, he qualified as a doctor in 1852. Lister became assistant surgeon at Edinburgh Royal Infirmary and was later made surgeon at the Glasgow Royal Infirmary in Scotland. The accepted belief at the time was that contact of an open wound with moisture in the air caused infection, so surgical wounds were covered after operating with non-sterile cloths, which increased the risk of infection. Lister refused to accept this theory, and after reading the works of Louis Pasteur, he tried to prevent bacterial infection of surgical wounds by applying pure carbolic acid to surgical dressings, as well as cleaning wounds with the acid during and after surgery. Lister studied the effects of his treatment for 2 years and then published his findings. This led to the adoption of doctors wearing white gowns, which were used to show dirt, and using surgical gauze and carbolic acid to clean wounds after surgery. Lister successfully treated Queen Victoria using his new methods, and he was appointed chairman of clinical surgery at King's College Hospital, London, where he continued his research into antiseptics and clean surgery until he retired in 1893 and died in Kent, England, aged 85.
The topic of the lecture was the English surgeon, Joseph Lister. The speaker talked about aseptic technique, and in 1852 he became a doctor at the Scottish hospital. The speaker also went on and talked about moisture. He applied Louis Pasteur's technique here, pure carbolic acid cleaning. Finally, the speaker highlighted the following points. White gowns, treating Queen Victoria. He died at the age of 85 in England.
Okay, so what I want you to do is to write as many words as you can understand and write down, even you can write in your language, in your own language, so long as you can pronounce them, so long as you can read them. So for instance, if you don't know how to pronounce carbolic acid, just in your language, write carbolic acid. So you come back to it and say, oh, I've written here carbolic acid in Indonesian, in Japanese. Okay, so nobody is gonna, whatever you write is not marked, whatever you say is marked. Okay, now I'm gonna play you another audio. This time I want you to write as many words as you can get. So please get a pen, grab yourself a pen and a piece of paper, and when you're ready, just raise your hand so that I can play it. Are you ready, Simon?
Yep.
Both of you. Okay, good.
In today's lecture, I'm going to talk about changes in air pollution since the middle of the last century and what has created these changes. So, by the 1950s, air pollution was very visible, with frequent thick black fogs known as smogs in many large cities around the world. The main source of this pollution was from factories, and it caused severe health problems. For example, a particularly severe smog in London in 1952 caused over 4,000 deaths. Obviously, something had to be done, and in 1956, a Clean Air Act was introduced in Britain. This addressed the pollution from factories, and the smog soon disappeared. However, as you know, these days air pollution is still a big issue. The main difference between now and the 1950s is that you can't see it, it's invisible. Also, the main source of pollution now is from cars and lorries, and although these don't produce visible signs, this air pollution is still a significant risk to health. And one of the key factors in the rise of this type of pollution is that we have all become much more vehicle dependent. There are far more cars and lorries, trains and planes than in the 1950s, and this is now the main source of air pollution around the world.
Okay, Simon, I want you to read me whatever you have written, please. So what did you get? What was it about?
Air pollution
Very good. Keep
in
going.
1950
Excellent.
and a small city.
Mm-hmm.
The problem in London, 4,000 dead.
Very good. Yes. And
That's all.
that's it. Very good.
Yeah.
Mayuko, please. Very good. Mayuko, how many words can you tell me? Can you read whatever you've?
The topic of the lecture was about the air pollution. That is from middle of the last century. It was very bad around the world. It caused from the factories. Also, it is still a big problem these days. That is from cars, etc. And then it is risk for the health.
Very good.
That's it.
Excellent. Very good. Both of you got enough to go by. Now, I'll start with Simon. Simon, let me just write whatever you have written. So come again, Simon. Your points. Air pollution, number one.
Air pollution in 1950.
1950s, very good.
And there's a smoke a lot of city.
Smoke in the city, a lot of smoke, a lot of smoke in the city of which city? Which city?
London.
London, very good, London.
And 4,000 dead.
Very good, 4,000 dead. And that's it.
That's all.
Very good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's enough. Okay, now what do you do? So this is what you do. The topic of the lecture was air pollution. The speaker talked about air pollution in 1950s. The speaker also went on and talked about a lot of smoke in the city of London. Finally, the speaker highlighted the following points: 4,000 deaths, air pollution, London, 1950s, and smoke. All right, so you see. Now, the thing about this test is that you need to talk for, and these black sentences here help you to make longer sentences. So the more you write down, the better. All right. And if you still had time, you can talk about, it doesn't matter, talk about air pollution. And you say, the speaker also went on and talked about air pollution. We've got air pollution in Melbourne, a lot of air pollution in my country, Jakarta, a lot of air pollution there. I know that in sometimes the sky is black. All right, just you can talk about air pollution. It doesn't matter. So long as it is about air pollution, that's fine. All right. Still, that the points, the content points related, that's fine. But the more you points you write down, the better it is. So Mayoko, please. What was your points, please?
Air pollution.
Air pollution.
Middle of the last century.
Middle of the
Last century. I don't get it, but
okay, that's good. Century, middle of the century. That's fine. Next.
Very bad around the world.
Very bad. Very good. Around the world.
Factory.
Factories.
Still big problem.
Sorry, big program. Very good. Big problem. Big problem.
The car, etc.
Cars. Very good. And etc.
Risk for the health.
For the health.
Yeah, that's it.
Very good. Okay. So now, beep. The topic of the lecture was about air pollution. The speaker talked about mid-century and very bad around the world. The speaker went on and talked about factories and big problems, cars and what was that? I cannot read my own handwriting. Effectories, essentially effect. Okay, cars and effects. And finally, the speaker highlighted the following points for the health, London, and air pollution. We have some air pollution in Tokyo. Some people in my country in the past call it Edo. All right, so just talk about air pollution, that's fine. Do not go, sorry, I didn't get any, I'm gonna fail. Okay, don't do that. Just talk about it. But the more practice you do, the more you write, the better you will become at it, okay? So next one, and this time we write down, all of us, so remember, the topic of the lecture was, the speaker talked about, the speaker also went on and talked about, finally, the speaker highlighted the following points, especially at the end, don't make sense. So you see, if I were you, I would do this, for instance, and I'm going to combine the information of both of you. So finally, the speaker highlighted the following points. Air pollution in 1950s, mid of the century, very bad around the world, factories, 4,000 deaths, smoke in the city of London, big problem, cars and factories for their health, respectively. You see, I didn't make any sense, but the computer is typing whatever you say, and finally, when it is finished, the computer says, oh my goodness, look at this content, mid of the century. Very bad, air pollution. So that's how it is marked. The more you write and the more you say, the better. Now, we're going to use the same template for summarize written text in listening. The same. So remember, once you memorize it, you need to type it as well. And then Bob's your uncle. Okay, one more. This time, write, and I'll write as well. And once it is finished, we all start to do the retail lecture together. So say the topic of the lecture was, the speaker talked about. Oh, no, let me just do one. We all write, but I'll do it, okay? And then this next time, we'll do it together, or one of us does it. But we all write, remember. Okay. $54, okay, please write down. But I'll do it.
No news is good news. May be true for most of us most of the time. After all, we don't look forward to unpleasant things happening to us. But bad news is good news is true for those who work in the news media, and I suspect for the rest of us at least some of the time. It is tied up with stories and our seemingly insatiable need for stories. Have you ever been gripped by a story where nothing goes wrong for the characters? There's an incident in a Kingsley Amis novel that nicely illustrates this. The main character, Jake, comes home to find his wife chatting to a friend about a hairdresser both women know, who has moved with his family to somewhere in Africa. Jake listens in, expecting tales of cannibalism and such like. But no, the friend has just received a letter saying they love the place and are settling in nicely. Jake leaves the room in disgust. We demand to be entertained, and while we don't object to a happy ending, the characters have to have experienced loss, pain and hardship in one form or another along the way to have deserved it.
The topic of the lecture was "No news is good news." The speaker talked about unpleasant things, news media tied up in stories. He also went on and talked about Nothing Goes Wrong, Kingsley Davis, a novel, and also it was about two people chatting together. One of them moved to Africa and they expected cannibalism. Finally, the speaker highlighted the following points: love the place, Jake leave the room in disgust, and expensive loss, hardship in bad way, respectively. All right. So I just, oh, you can't see it. Yes, you can. No. How about this? No. Oh my good. Okay. All right. So the topic of the lecture was, the speaker talked about, the speaker also went on and talked about that. By the way, everything should be in the past. Try to say everything in the past. The speaker talked, the speaker was, everything in the past. That makes it easier for you. All right. Are you ready for the next one? We all write, and we all three start when you hear the beep. We all three start to say it.
Community service is an important component of education here at our university. We encourage all students to volunteer for at least one community activity before they graduate. A new community program called One-on-One helps elementary students who've fallen behind. You education majors might be especially interested in it because it offers the opportunity to do some teaching, that is, tutoring in math and English. You'd have to volunteer 2 hours a week for one semester. You can choose to help a child with math, English, or both. Half-hour lessons are fine, so you could do half-hour of each subject, 2 days a week. Professor Dodge will act as a mentor to these tutors. He'll be available to help you with the lesson plans or to offer suggestions for activities. He has office hours every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon. You can sign up for the program with him and begin the tutoring next week. I'm sure you'll enjoy this community service and you'll gain valuable experience at the same time. It looks good on your resume too, showing that you've had experience with children and that you care about your community. If you'd like to sign up or have any questions, stop by Professor Dodge's office this week.
The topic of the lecture was community service. The speaker talked about the importance of all students to volunteer. The speaker also went on, everybody. The speaker also went on and talked about elective majors, education majors offer the classes that can offer 2 hours a week. Child that needs math, English, half-hour of English, half-hour of math. Professor Dodgers is available. Finally, the speaker talked about Professor Dodgers on Tuesday, Wednesday, offers valuable experience and also good on your resume.
Resume Thursday.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So, any questions, Simon?
No.
No. Mayoko, any questions?
No, but it's be hard to catch the titles or something like that. The first sentence.
It doesn't matter. The title, yes. No, don't write it in past. Don't write it. You're just saying the topic was. You see everything in the past. Yeah, look. So the topic of the lecture was. That's in the past. So what was the topic of the lecture, Simon? What was the topic of the lecture?
The topic.
Education.
Education.
College, education. So what did you write? Let's start with Mayoko. Mayoko, what did you write?
I wrote community service.
Very good. And? So you can say the topic of the lecture was community service. The speaker talked about hours that the students can do community service for teaching education to students. Okay, Simon, what did you write? Any words?
2 hours a week for the semester.
Very good. Yes.
And half hour of each subject.
Excellent.
Every after Tuesday and Thursday afternoon.
Very good. So you say the topic of the lecture was community service. The speaker talked about 2 hours a week, Monday and Tuesday. The speaker also went on and talked about Professor Dodgers, Wednesday and afternoon, Wednesday. Finally, the speaker highlighted the following points: the college, the city, the students, mathematics, English, 2 hours a week, and community service. You can repeat that. It doesn't matter. All right. But practice makes perfect. Number 1, you memorize the template. Number 2, you practice writing as many points as you can. All right. Very good. Now, next one. Okay, we write down, all of us write down, but I'm gonna say it, okay? Please write down as many as you can.
More than 3 hours a day. The study was published in the Archives of Disease in Childhood. Researchers studied more than 11,000 British children ages 5 to 7. Parents completed a questionnaire about the strengths and weaknesses of their kids, and they were also asked to report how much time their children spend watching television. Researchers say those who watch more are more likely to steal or fight by age 7. Then again, they say the overall likelihood of that antisocial behavior is pretty low. And a writer for The Atlantic says the risks discovered are not significant. They failed to look at the content of the shows and games occupying their subjects' time. And all things considered, a mother and blogger for Mother Nature Network says the real danger of too much TV is obesity. And on WLNY, anchors pointed out mobile devices seem to make it easier to give kids TV to watch. Interestingly enough, the researchers said they found no link between computer and electronic games and antisocial behavior. And the experts say, bottom line, it's a good rule of thumb to try to limit how much TV young kids watch to less than 2 hours a day.
The topic of the lecture was how much TV do you watch? The speaker talked about most children watch 3 hours a day, and also talked about 11,000 participants aged between 5 to 7. The speaker also went on and talked about how much TV everybody watches, also mentioned stealing and fighting. Finally, it is clear, finally, in conclusion, the people highlighted the following points: all things considered, obesity, mobile devices, regulation, and 2 hours a day. Bottom line is. So I don't make sense. You don't have to make sense. Just whatever you've written, just mention towards the end. Okay. So 2 hours, bottom line, electronic, computer games. These are the things. Now, Simon, what did you get?
Report how much time they watch TV. Antisocial behavior very low.
Very good.
And list of discover was not significant.
Very good. That's it. Very good. My echo, please.
I cannot read my word.
My echo, please.
More than 3 hours. 3 hours a day. Age 5 to 7.
Very good.
Spend watching TV, social behavior, problem obesity, and limited less than 2 hours a day.
Very good. Excellent. So more you write, remember, the better. And of course, you practice on the website. So in maybe after the class, I have another class, but I try to produce credentials for you to practice on the website. All right. So let me just show you before you. So this is where you, when you log in, this is what you see. So, so these are the mock tests. There are 10 of them. So I don't want you to do any of them now, but once we are done with all these sections here, then you're free to go. Now, so this is the order. The test starts with the speaking, then writing, then reading, and then listening. So we are here right now. And so retail, that's retail lecture. What I want you to do is to memorize the templates. So for describe image, the image describes, it also provides, it is clear. How do you do that? By practicing. I don't want you to do it in 1 hour. I don't want you to do 10 minutes later. I want you to do it over the weeks. So just memorize them, and practice, of course, makes perfect. Come to the website, practice. I can see your progress. I can see how much time you have spent on the website. The more you do, the better you become at it. And don't worry, we've got 430 describe images here, for instance. Okay. So also, and by the way, a lot of these are exactly what the students get in the test, because students come to me and say, oh, I've got this one for my, for instance, this one, very common. So that's why I have it number 1. I think there was one photo. So I don't know which one, but so for instance, a lot of students got this one. Okay. Just this one. So and there aren't a lot of things here, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it. So the image described, also provide, it is clear. Finally, okay. The image describes yellow pencils. It also provides some information about different categories such as Iran, Nepal, India, Vietnam, Colombia, and Chile. It is clear from the image that Colombia has the largest number with 282345, while Iran has the lowest with 800. Finally, by looking at the image, it can be concluded the image is showing important information, substantial facts and figures having a significant effect on Vietnam, Chile, and India with 1032 and 282345 respectively. I don't make sense, but that's how it goes. All right. So you just come here and practice. Now, remember the first day I showed you by the way, I'm going to send this to you as well. So the priority. Now, as you can see here, answer short questions is out of 20, it's number 13. So obviously it is not that important, but we're going to do it today and you're going to cover it. But even if you do not do any of them, even if you do not answer any of them still you're going to be fine. But they're so easy. I want you to practice anyway. So answer short questions is the last section of the test. You will get 4 to 5 questions here. It used to be 10 to 5, 10 to 12. Now it's 4 or 5. Yes, please. And so answer short questions. You tell me the answer.
What do we call the string that burns inside a candle?
So what do we call it? Check the answer. A wick. Okay. So what do we call? Sorry. So look at this. This.
Oh,
That's a wick.
Oh.
okay.
So now you know it was a question. It was a real question in the test. So I have it here. Oh my goodness, where did the photo go? Ah, I've got a horrible internet speed at this end. Anyway, so these are wick. W-I-C-K. So what do we call? That was the question. Look, you play it again.
What do we call the string that burns inside a candle?
So now you know it's a wick. A wick. Good. So next one. Mayoko.
What does this symbol stand for?
Character.
Very good. Simon.
I don't know.
Very good. If you don't know, just say something. Excellent. Just say something. Use a word from the you don't know. That's it. But as Narada was saying, if you get it wrong, 5 points. Okay. If you get it wrong, 5 points. So just say something. That's fine. Don't leave it unanswered. There's no negative marking here. Okay. You can check it here.
So even I say, I don't know, I can get a 5 point.
No, no. That's for the class. She said, if you say something in the class, remember she said, if you give the wrong answer, you get 5 points. Yes. And if you give the correct 10 points. So here is the same. Don't go, just, I mean, there's this chance, there's this possibility that your words is close to wick. So instead for you say, what? And then the computer writes wick. There you go. But here it's copyright.
What does this symbol stand for?
What is it?
Copyright.
It's a copyright, yes. Next one. Mayoko.
What's the name of a piece of paper that proves you have bought something?
Receipt.
Very good. There you go. Excellent. So there you go. Receipt. There. So you see, they are. If you, how many questions do you have here? 212. Okay, there are more, but these are enough for you. If you do these, you're gonna get 5-10%.
The sun rises from which direction?
Simon? The sun rises from which direction?
East.
Very good. Excellent. I thought you're going to say this way. This direction. Yes, it is east. Very good. Yeah. You made a good choice. There you go. East. Where's the answer? Oh my goodness. Simon gave the answer and we don't have it here. The sun rises from which direction? Very good.
Maybe the computer don't know the direction.
No, the computer knows it is this way. Okay, this way. Number, okay. Which number is it? I'm gonna. No, it shouldn't be like this. So, number 4. Okay, next one. I'm gonna. Number 4. Number 4. Answer short question.
What is the noun form of wide?
Wideness.
Very good. You see, she said something very close. It's wet. Very good, Mayoko. Very good. There you go. Wet. But it is very close. Yeah, that's just fine. So do not be afraid of saying something. Don't let it go without, because basically you're not losing a lot of points here. If you, let's be frank, if you lose all of them, all of the questions here, still you're going to be fine. Okay. In this section, answer short questions. So what I want you to do is go through these whenever you have time. Dead time. Okay, dead time. What do I mean?
What is the noun form of wide?
What do I mean by dead time? So for instance, you've done a repeat sentence. Very important. Repeat sentence. Your mind is fresh. You did a repeat sentence. You did read aloud, and now you're a bit tired, and you say, okay, what do? I have 5 minutes. I can spend 5 more minutes. You do answer short questions. But when you're fresh-minded, you know, so up to you. But whenever you have time, you practice these as well. So there we go. Speaking is finished, but next time when we start, we're going to start with these as well. So tomorrow, is it tomorrow 7? Yes. So tomorrow sharp 7. I'm talking to myself, sharp 7. Okay, I have to remember. So we start with describe image. By then you have memorized the image describes. It also provides. Just you know, that would be fine if you do. All right. Now, which section do you want me to do? 1 or 2 for you? So before we finish, which section of the speaking? How about the read aloud?
Yeah, read aloud.
Okay, I do a read aloud for you. For read aloud, you don't have to have a perfect pronunciation. You can use just a pronunciation like a computer. That's fine. The computer takes it. So I'm going to do it for you. So 54. Okay. If there's a word you cannot pronounce, just pronounce it, you know, just say something and move on. First year university students have designed and built groundbreaking electric car for recharging itself. 50 students from the University of Sydney Faculty of Engineering spent 5 months cobbling together bits of plywood, foam and fiberglass to build Mango car concept. They've developed the specification and hand built the car. It's a pretty radical design, a 4-wheel drive with a motor in each wheel. You see? There you go. You don't have to say, how quickly is the world's population growing? No, just with your pronunciation, very quickly, that's fine. But I want you to practice this one for both of us, for all of us, this one. Okay. Okay. When you hear the beep, we go.
Just write down each rest of them and then one by one you can ask. We can give the right. We're doing task 3 on Thursday. Yeah. Okay, right. You know, for 121, when it says there's 4 methods.
How quickly is the world's population growing in the United States and other developed countries? The current growth rate is very slow. The most developing countries, the human population is growing at a rate of 3% because of this bustling growth rate. The human population is on its way to reaching 9 billion within lifetime.
Reaching 9 billion within lifetime.
Very good. So he's finished here, Mayoko. Excellent. This is good. Here, fantastic. But I don't want you to finish. Let me just clarify where you should finish.
Yeah, you got your
Okay, so you finish somewhere around here. It's okay. Finish here, it's fine with me, okay? But don't finish here, okay? Don't. So in the middle, onwards is okay. But I don't want you to finish here, obviously. I don't want you to finish here. Just a little bit. So in the middle, onwards up to here would be fine. But you can finish it. Practice makes perfect. And you will finish somewhere around here. That's fine. All right. We can do one more. Do you want to do individually or together?
Maybe individually.
Individually, very good. So Simon, next one yours.
Okay. Although it's half from a remote region of the Western Himalaya, this plant now look entirely at home on the bank of English River. Brought to the UK in 1839, it quickly escaped from Victorian garden and colonizer river band and then woodland. Now it's spreading across Europe, New Zealand, Canada, and the US.
Excellent, very good. You finished here. So once you finish, you press this quickly and then yes, quickly. That's it. There you go. Mayuko, please.
But make sure try to finish this thing, and whatever the question you need to be discussed, just write on a paper, and next class in the beginning we will discuss this thing in the beginning. Anybody have done question 1.?
A unique characteristic of online shopping environment is that they allowed vendors to create retail interfaces with the highly interactive features. One disable form of interactivity from the consumer perspective it's the implementation of sophisticated tools to assist shoppers in their purchase, described by customizing the shopping environment to their individual performances.
Very good, Mayuko. It's all right. So one of these you can skip. Remember, you can skip. If there's a word you don't just skip it. So you say here, look. So I'm going to read this section.
Yeah.
One desirable form of interactivity from a consumer is the implementation of tools to assist shoppers. Okay. I skipped 2 words. That's fine. Okay.
It's very bad I can pronounce.
But there is no word that you cannot pronounce. Okay. Like this, it is very difficult. Don't just say, instead of saying perspective, say perspective. Perspective. That's fine. Is the implementation. It's okay. All right. Just you may remember the mimicking. If you mimic it, that's fine. All right. Okay. Any questions?
No.
One more, all 3 of us together, and then we can finish the class.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's the completion. That's the formula you need to put down. And you need to write down that formula to your diary as well when you come to the work. I know nobody can memorize, but you need to write down some diary of yours. You can check and you can implement that formula. Find out the answer.
Major breathing areas and breathing islands are shown as dark green areas that often dots are slow down in breathing records on islands and are also used to this offshore springing, that is oral ships or boats. Other areas where species are not meant to be are plain green with plain green where the chords are usually sparse. Very good. And then you press next one. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, I'll see you tomorrow night, okay, at 7, and I will send you the links and check out the website, okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much and have a good one.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.